Okay, right on. Ooh. Can you hear it? I have neighbors who have 4 sweet young children, and the kids are often in the backyard. Oh my gosh, I could listen to their chit-chat all day. Anyway, hi. I am your holistic nutrition practitioner. My name is Luca. And every day or so, I've been hopping on here to talk about things I've been thinking about in a way to let you know a little bit more on a personal level what kind of stuff is happening in the programs that I'm offering, and to give you food for thought or things to think about to see if maybe these are good fits for you. So I ran into my lovely friend Malcolm Saunders yesterday. He is the owner, operator, one of the owners at the Light Cellar here in Calgary. And Malcolm is also a teacher and does a lot of really cool stuff. So we were talking about what's happening in the world right now, because that is a hot topic, pun intended. And we were talking about how like there's been this build, bigger, better. I'm even out of the frame right now, but I'm going bigger and bigger and bigger with my arms. This globalization, this, you can call it globalization, more than that in different ways. Like, we're always, the whole capitalism thing is about building more and more and more and bigger and better all the time. That's not sustainable. It's not sustainable long term. It's not sustainable for the environment, as we are witnessing. It is not sustainable for mental health of our human population. That is my own observation. It is not sustainable in terms of what works. It's not a system, it's a self-limiting system, actually. This whole concept of building more and reaching out and going further and doing more and more and more. On a global scale, it doesn't work that way. And it's not sustainable long term. What is sustainable long term? Smaller steps, smaller reach, smaller. Okay, for example, I have so many things swimming around my head, and that's why I jump on these, because it helps me clarify what I'm thinking, which I need. So these are like part therapy for me. Thank you. You don't have to listen if you don't want to, but it's nice that you are. And jump in the conversation if you want. Comments below. So, because I've been thinking about this, right? Here we are living in a time where just before the whole shutting down of the world happened in the, depends where you are in the world, different parts of the winter and early spring, I suppose. It was interesting to see, if you think of it at that time, it would be nothing to just jump on a plane and go somewhere on the other side of the planet. When I was growing up, like, so rarely did people do that. Hi, Eli. So, this acceleration of everything has been about building and more and more and more and more and more over time, yeah? And quite exponentially in the last 30, 40, 50 years. Okay, so has that served us? I think it has in some levels, and I think it serves some people really, really well. And I think it's detrimental for a whole schwack of other people. I don't know where you stand. If you're a capitalist and you're probably making tons of money, great for you. That's fun. Yeah, that's not going to last forever. The earth cannot completely always give you all of her resources, and you can't just take what you need. The cost at some point is going to be in balance. How does this relate to what I do and what I like to talk about? Eli, you're the best. Here's what I'm thinking about. So in conversation with Malcolm yesterday, we were talking about how, like, even more, like, we were talking about in terms of the election, of course, but more than that, you know how people are, put it into words, Luca. With all of this bigger, better, more, I think we have come to a crux in time where we can't do that anymore. I don't know that we ever should have, but we did. And by we, perhaps not the entire population, true, yeah. Also, can we please wake up and realize that we are at a critical point in time where it's an invitation to change how we do things and how we move through the world on so many more levels. And this is applicable to every single human being who is able to slow the bleep down, stop for a second, give it a think. Whatever we're talking about with people who are up in arms about electoral processes, it's still going to be a settler who's going to be in charge, calling the shots. And there's still going to be the same problems that were there 4 months ago. Doesn't matter who's in charge. That doesn't fix the issue. God, the issue is with us. The change is within us. The call to do these changes, the call to put pieces in place, rest with us. And now, more than ever, is a time to no longer look huge and big and monstrous and in a growing way. But now we need to change. It is all us. Now we need to actually change the direction and go inwards. And not necessarily just inwards where you sit in the corner and you rock yourself to sleep like I do sometimes. And sometimes I don't sleep because it's so irksome. But maybe it's time to stop going global. Maybe it's time to stop reaching so far. That's not sustainable. It's not sustainable for our mental health. It's not sustainable for our adrenals. I see tuckered out adrenals more than anything. And tuckered out adrenals are always, to me, that someone is, there's a great Instagram account called Real Food Gangstas, and they say, you're cashing checks you can't fulfill or something. You're writing checks out of a bank account that has no money. That's what adrenals are. And when adrenals are out, your life force is diminished. From an anthroposophical point of view, adrenals are all about life force. And our babies, P.S., until the age of 7, take their life force off of mom's adrenals from an anthroposophical point of view. More than anything, it's time to support our young mums. More than that, it's actually time for us. Yeah, that is such a good analogy, right? I know you get it, Carlene. It's not my original thought, P.S. But so right now, November 5th, 2020. If you need a sign, this is the sign. It's time to slow down. There's your sign. It's time to stop going out and going big and aiming out that way. And it's time to go inwards and affect change where you can within the 4 walls of your own home and to your community. And to bring things back to a manageable scale that works for you, for the people in and around you, for your community, for the land, and to honor the wisdom of those who have been caretakers of this land before you got here. It's time to slow down and to look to the smaller, I don't even know if they're smaller. It makes more sense to do things small than to do things on a huge scale. It makes more sense to gather in a small community than to try to do a global thing. And that is what I'm trying to do with these programs. I'm trying to give you pieces for you to effect change on a very small level. Here's the weird part about it. When you put in some of these changes on a small local level, be it your community, your people, your family, you are setting the solid foundation for the continuity of your people. When you aim too high, too big, do all of the things, be all of the things, have all of the pieces in place, that is unsustainable and your life force starts to diminish consequently. And now your adrenals suffer. Welcome to 2020. I don't know anybody whose adrenals are not having a hard time. Because it's a little phone call to go, bring it in, rein it in. Oh my God, right? Rein it in, kids. Rein it in. And if nutrition is one of those pieces where you're like, that is a piece actually where I want to effect change just for me, then hit me up. And if it's not nutrition, then don't call me. If it's something where you are looking to effect change big holiday seasons coming up, birthdays coming up, doesn't matter, buying gifts for people. What if instead of going outwards and big and getting the cheap price for stuff, if you're looking for the cheap price, there's so much other price underneath that is going to have to come into play to try to balance that shit out, because we are messing things up as humans. What if instead you go locally and you support local businesses? I'm committing this year to actually, I know I can't visit my side of our family this year, and I can't share Christmas with them. And my gifts are going to be thoughtfully put together by creators in my community. Because to me, I can't believe I didn't know this before. You got to look after your own people first. It's not sustainable to go outwards so far that you can't even connect with them. And yeah, 2020, we're all online. Are we even connecting? Yeah, we're still connecting, guys. Don't have someone tell you we're not connecting. We're still connecting. We're connecting with the parameters we've been given. So you're still connecting, but you are able to also connect with those in your very tight circle in your home. Never did we used to have 2,000 friends. You had the people in your small circles, and you had a reliable community that was around you. It was the same people you saw all the time. Nobody lived in cities of 2 million people. So it's okay to have a small group. It's okay to downsize your commitments, downsize your circle of people, downsize your influence. Because when you do that, you're actually concentrating the energy on the people around you, yourself, and it is incredibly so much more sustainable for the energetics of being human, for the energetics of being honest and true, and the energetics of the land that you're on. That's how you honor things. Oh my God, philosophical, deep thoughts. I haven't been sleeping lately because I think I'm downloading stuff. But anyway, that's what I'm thinking about today. And hey, yeah, I have classes coming up. We're doing a gut class. Yeah, if you want to do some of that nutrition work around how you can implement change on a very small scale instead of reaching out and big and going, I'm going to do all of the big things. I'm reaching far. How are your adrenals? Do you need 17 naps a day right now? Why don't you reach inside and smaller to your circle? Stop reaching so far. I'll help with the gut piece. Or I'm doing a whole series. We're doing 4 seasons this year. And winter's coming up in 2 weeks. I'm going to talk about it next week because the registration's not open yet. So, yeah, there's a wait list. Get your name on the wait list. You'll hear about it first. Whatever. Or why don't you just go make a cup of tea and maybe research some local makers who are doing some cool stuff around you. Connect with them. And I know it's 2020. Are we supposed to only connect digitally? Maybe. Maybe. Maybe not, but maybe. What if it is? What if it's not a super terrible thing? Stop believing all the people going, this is terrible, this is terrible, this is terrible, including me. Including me. I just went and chewed on about how going global is not sustainable and it's not good. Whatever, maybe it is for you. If you're making billions of dollars and now you can buy that 7th boat you want, oh, good for you. Onwards and upwards to you. See you later. You're not in my circle of people, that's for sure. Anyway, thanks, gang. If you have any questions, pop them in the comments. You're all lovely. I just want you to know that. Bye.